Okay, so I'm back again, and this was the original picture, right? This was the original one. And then, and this is a bit hard, but the original one still has something better than all the new ones I've done. And you just have to be honest with yourself. Now, from this point on, with my new tree, I started to paint fairly good pictures. I'm just trying to look for which one was next. I think it was this one. Could be wrong though. So now I think it's starting to look better. So the lighting is better, quite good. I like this grey sky and this grey mountain, and this sparkle is a bit better. And this cluster doesn't work right. You see how I didn't realise it should have been thicker here and then just become dots here. But I kind of messed that up. It's okay, but it could be better. The tree looks like a good tree, maybe a bit faint. And then this looks quite good. Maybe it should be darker here. But not bad, not bad. And then maybe this is the next one. So with the sky, I really went, can you see the yellow to the orange? I did it vertically, but it makes a really nice effect. It just really glows, doesn't it? You got this beautiful white here, and then you've got this lovely sparkle here. And the tree, okay, maybe it's not fantastic, but that's not a bad tree, right? It's really not a bad tree. It works, and almost I got the right thing with the rocks here. Almost becomes dots, but not quite. And I think this one looks nice. And this was painted on my smaller pad and cheaper paper, but sometimes on this paper, this cheaper paper, I paint my better pictures because I'm more relaxed. You know, it's cheaper paper. I feel like I'm just kind of sketching a bit. So that relaxed state leads to better paintings, yeah. Another brilliant tip here, but it's important. One is do have a cheaper watercolor paper that's still quite good, and then have a quality watercolor paper, because you have to get used to that. And when you use the cheaper one, do be relaxed. Do feel like this is just throw away, because eventually you'll do really, really good paintings on that cheap paper. And that's another thing to realize, that when you relax, there's a certain relaxed state, you will paint better. It will just come with time. The more you paint, and having cheap paper that you just do quick paintings on, that will develop. And this looks quite interesting, and this is pretty good, but it's too samey, needs to get darker. But it's got a nice feeling. It's got quite a nice feeling, hasn't it? Could almost be a book cover. Maybe not, I don't know. Okay, next one. Okay, so here's the next one. Oh, actually, this was before the other one. And this has a lot about it that's pretty nice. The sky's quite nice. Maybe I should have done, you know, like that whiteness we can't see so strongly, and it doesn't get like yellow then orange. So that could have been improved. The sky and the mountain is pretty good. The rocks are okay. The sparkle is pretty good. This is pretty good, but it's a bit boring, isn't it? I don't know why I did that kind of thing. I mean, the rocks here look quite interesting, but yeah, that going straight down, nah, didn't work right. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, and this is my final one, and it's still drying, goodness me. So, okay, going to get my fingers dirty here. Sometimes I just wipe the paint in. So, as you can see, it's still a bit wet. Am I getting better? But if you persevere, you will, bit by bit, get better. So I think the sky, the lighting works. It's not super dramatic, but it does work. The sky and the mountains in the distance, it works. I can start to see this shininess in the sea. This rock cluster is very different. Here we've got a few rocks, but here a lot, and here a big rock. That quite works, but it's a different arrangement from the original one, but it actually kind of works. I can see that working a bit. And this is quite interesting, but I just think it needs to be more darker. So, and maybe this shadow needs to be darker. I mean, it does look quite beautiful, but I think if it was darker, it would be better. So there you go. I think that's everything. And now for my ambitious one, and it's not done yet, but I'm going big. And this is the beginning of it. So this is the sky. And I almost want to leave it like that because it just looks so beautiful and pure. But you know, you've got to have courage. So I'm going to start this one now and let's see how it goes. Now, one of the things I always recommend when you paint big, again, very common sense, when you go from small size to big size, your brush has to go from small size to big size. And there's many reasons why we don't do that, right? Because we have to buy another brush and it's more expensive, and maybe it's just habit, just not thinking, and just use the same brush. You desperately need bigger brushes. You need to be able to cover that space quickly to really make a good painting. And one of the things that is against me when I paint this is that I've used my biggest brushes already for painting this sky. I used a very big bamboo brush, and I'm going to have to use the same brush for this big painting because I haven't got a bigger one. So it's going to be a bit challenging, but let's see how it goes. I might be able to pull it off, but I think if I had a bigger brush, it would work out. It would work out better. So there you go. I'll be back soon and we'll see if it works.